Okay, Monday afternoon, we're going to be focusing on two periods here on this video. This should be a fairly quick video, but again, I wanted to at least mention a couple of issues. Now, first one would be on Thursday morning, and we'll get into that here real quickly in just a little bit. And then I'm actually going to mention just a couple of things about next week. Okay, you can tell that we're in, or at least getting into a more active pattern, hence the reason why my concern is growing. Again, not only for Thursday morning, but then maybe even more importantly as we head into next week. Okay, but anyway, here we go. This is the GFS computer model guidance, and what you're seeing right now is a jet streak here. This is for Thursday morning. And of course, we've always talked about how right at the right rear quad of a jet streak is where precipitation likes to develop. So that would place this portion of Minnesota and northwestern Wisconsin in a favorable area for precipitation. Now, the problem is, of course, is are we going to have enough cold air in place? So that's really the one big red flag with Thursday morning storm system is, will the cold air arrive in time to change the rain? Because there's no doubt we're going to get some rain later Wednesday into Thursday morning. Will we have enough cold air filter in to change that over to snow? And that still remains to be seen. But the GFS computer model, and not only the GFS, but look at, we have a consensus between the GFS, the Canadian computer model guidance, which also shows this jet streak in almost the exact same location. And for that matter, the European computer model also shows the jet streak located right here from the northern portions of Minnesota and southern Ontario on east into eastern Ontario, and then of course over into the northeastern portion of the United States. So this would place central and northern Minnesota in a favorable area for certainly for some precipitation, and that could easily be rain that changes over to snow. So we will look at that here as we go through the next couple of days. Okay, I mentioned about that warm air that's going to be in place, and that is truly the red flag with this storm system. This is the NAM computer model guidance now from this morning. This is the 12Z run this morning, and what I'm showing you is 850 millibar temperatures. Now, these are temperatures in the lowest layers of our atmosphere, about 3 to 5,000 feet in our atmosphere. The 850 millibars gives a pretty good idea of where the rain snow line is going to be located during a fall or winter storm. All right, here we are Wednesday. This is Wednesday afternoon, and look at all this warm air in and around central and southern Minnesota and western Wisconsin. And keep in mind, here's the Twin Cities metro here, Eau Claire here, Rochester right here. So plenty of warm air in place to where temperatures are at 4 or 5 degrees Celsius. We're talking, these are temperatures in the low 40s Fahrenheit in the lower layers of our atmosphere. So way too warm to get any snow, at least Wednesday, or ice for that matter, on Wednesday here in southern Minnesota. But watch what happens as we get into Wednesday night. This is midnight Wednesday, and I want you to focus on what's happening up here in central Minnesota. Look at how this cold air is sagging south, and it kind of quickly does it as we get into Thursday morning, so that by about commute time on Thursday, again, here's the Twin Cities metro, and our 850 millibar temperatures are near or just below freezing at that time. So if we can get this cold air to sag in to the Twin Cities metro, into the Eau Claire area, and portions of southern Minnesota, just a little bit before what the NAM computer model is showing, then we could easily get an inch or two of snow out of this system. And there still seems to be no doubt in my mind that significant snow is going to fall up over portions of central and northeastern Minnesota, up in this area, because that's where the cold air is focused, at least as we get into Thursday morning. Cold air should have certainly changed the rain over to snow up in that area, that neck of the woods, as we get into early Thursday morning. So this is what we are going to be watching over the next 24 to 48 hours as model guidance starts to come out with their new solutions. Keep in mind, this storm system is still offshore. It is still offshore, and what I mean by that, and let me put the winds from the European computer model here on um, the screen for you. And what I mean by that is look at this jet stream here now over the west coast. That's our storm. Look how, at least today, this is this morning, that storm is still off the west coast. It finally comes on the west coast as we get into tomorrow. So this is our storm for Thursday morning. So that storm comes ashore tomorrow. So the guidance that comes down tomorrow morning will give us a much better idea of where that rain snow line sets up with this storm system for Thursday morning. So something that we certainly need to watch. But again, as I look at the jet streak, and here it is on the European computer model guidance, there's no doubt that portions of northern and eastern Minnesota in this area is in for some significant snow as we get into late Wednesday night and Thursday morning. Okay, I told you I was just going to briefly touch on what we are looking at heading into next week. I know it's a long ways away, but the reason why I want to touch on this is because it is Thanksgiving week next week. Okay, and I think it's very important that we at least look ahead at Thanksgiving, well ahead if we can. And the reason why I'm concerned already at this point is I'm looking at the jet stream structure from the European computer model. And keep in mind, there is already consensus between the European computer model, the American model, and the Canadian medium range computer model on how the jet structure is going to look as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Now, this is Tuesday morning, the European computer model guidance. And I want you to focus on what's going on down here over the southern portion of the United States in the desert Southwest. This is a very strong jet stream and trough and jet streak that is digging into the southern plains. And then, of course, we've got this second jet streak now over the Great Lakes area. As you guys know, this S type of a shape is a classic indicator of a major storm system. Okay, yes, well, this is about 7 days out, but still it needs to be underlined that things are already looking interesting for a major late fall, early winter-like storm over much of the United States, and that could include southern and eastern Minnesota and western Wisconsin. Because look at what happens as we go into Tuesday evening and then Wednesday of next week. An amazing looking storm structure from a jet stream standpoint. Okay, we're talking this jet stream becomes even more amplified as we get into Wednesday morning. Okay, and that's very important because as this jet stream continues to dig, and again, let's look at it, a very powerful jet structure digging over Texas and then pulling north with copious amounts of Gulf moisture coming north into the western Great Lakes. This would place us, which would be eastern Minnesota, western Wisconsin, in a favorable area for a major late fall, early winter storm as we head into next week. Now, that's all I'm going to talk about this storm system. I'm not going to put up the snow totals that the European computer model guidance is already putting out because it's already shocking. But everybody knows that at this stage of the game, it's foolish to put out any precipitation products just because they usually are wrong and they usually shift. But the point is that we have the potential for a major storm system, not only over Minnesota and Wisconsin, but over much of the United States as we head towards Wednesday and Thursday of next week. And of course, that is right during a very heavy travel time period here right before Thanksgiving. So we'll be keeping an eye on that storm system over the next 3 to 5 days and give you much better updates on that as we go through time. All right, but first things first, we will concentrate on the potential for at least some snow, maybe even perhaps a little bit of ice, certainly a lot of, or at least some rain with the storm system that's coming in for later Wednesday and into Thursday. Take care.